She cheated and kicked me out of the house I renovated for 2 years, so I took the renovation with me. They say you never truly know a person until you renovate a house with them. In my case, I didn't know the person until I renovated the house for her. My fiancée, Jessica, inherited her grandmother's old Victorian home 2 years ago. It was a wreck. Rotting floorboards, 1970s wallpaper, plumbing that screamed when you turned on the tap. But the bones were good. I'm a master carpenter by trade. I told her, "Jess, give me 2 years. I will turn this into a palace for us." And I did. I poured my blood, sweat, and my entire savings account into that place. I worked weekends. I worked holidays. I stripped the original hardwood floors by hand. I installed a chef's kitchen with custom mahogany cabinets I built in my shop. I rewired the entire house. I installed a clawfoot tub in the master bath that cost more than my first car. I kept every receipt in a blue binder in the kitchen drawer, not because I didn't trust her, but because I'm meticulous. That binder would eventually save my life. We were 2 weeks away from the wedding. The house was finally finished. The smell of fresh paint and varnish was still in the air. I came home early on the Tuesday around 2 p.m. I wanted to surprise Jessica with sample swatches for the curtains. I saw a truck in the driveway, a familiar truck. It belonged to Rick, the general contractor I had hired to help with the heavy lifting on the roof repairs. I thought, maybe there's a leak. I walked in. It was quiet, too quiet. I walked up the stairs, my boots thudding on the white oak treads I had installed myself. The master bedroom door was open, and there they were, in the bed I bought, in the room I painted, Jessica and Rick. They didn't even scramble to cover up. Rick just looked at me with this smug, arrogant smirk and said, "Hey, boss." I looked at Jessica. I expected tears. I expected apologies. Instead, she pulled the sheet up and gave me a look of pure ice. "Well," she said, "this is awkward, but I guess it saves me the trouble of telling you later." "Telling me what?" I choked out. "That I'm done," she said. "Rick and we connect. He understands me, and honestly, I think it's better if you leave." "Leave?" I laughed, a hysterical sound. "Jessica, we're getting married in 2 weeks. I just spent 2 years building this house for us." And then she dropped the bomb, the line that sealed her fate. "Correction," she sneered. "You built this house for me. My name is on the deed, honey. Grandma left it to me. You don't have a stake in this property, so get out. Rick is moving in tonight." I stood there, processing the level of evil it takes to let someone renovate their home for free for 2 years, only to replace them with a hired help the moment the paint dries. She was right. Legally, the house was hers. The land was hers. But the improvements, the materials, the appliances? I thought about the blue binder in the kitchen drawer. I took a deep breath. I looked at Rick, who was already acting like the man of the house. "Fine," I said calmly. "It's your house. I'll leave." Jessica smiled, triumphant. "Good. Don't make a scene." "I won't," I said. "I'm just going to take what's mine and go." She waved her hand dismissively. "Take your clothes, your tools, whatever. Just be gone by the weekend. I'm going to Cabo with the girls for my bachelorette party tomorrow, and I want you gone before I get back on Monday." "Understood," I said. "I'll be gone." She left for Cabo the next morning. The second her Uber pulled away, I made a phone call. Not to a lawyer, to my boys. I called my brother, my 2 cousins, and 3 of my friends from the construction site. "Guys," I said, "bring the trucks, bring the drills. We have work to do." We didn't destroy anything. That would be vandalism. Vandalism is a crime. No, we performed a repossession. We started in the kitchen. Those custom mahogany cabinets, I unhooked them from the wall, loaded them onto the truck. The granite countertops, lifted and removed. The Sub-Zero fridge, the Viking stove, the dishwasher, all mine, all paid for by me. Gone. We moved to the living room. The expensive light fixtures, unscrewed. The vintage brass switch plates, removed. Then the bathroom. I disconnected the plumbing. We took the sink. We took the vanity. We took the $5,000 clawfoot tub. And just for good measure, I took the toilets. But I didn't stop there. I uninstalled the antique doorknobs I had sourced from France. I took the smart thermostat. By Sunday night, the house wasn't destroyed. It was just empty. It was exactly what she had inherited, a hollow shell of drywall and subflooring. I left the blue binder on the kitchen floor, or where the kitchen floor used to be covered by my expensive tile. I took that too, popped it right up. I wasn't there when she got back, but my neighbor was. He told me everything. Jessica and Rick pulled up on Monday afternoon. They walked up to the front door. She reached for the doorknob and grabbed air, because I had taken the front door too. She screamed, a scream of pure, unadulterated horror. They ran inside. The echo must have been incredible. An empty house echoes differently. She called the police immediately. She was hysterical, screaming that she had been robbed, that her house was destroyed. The police arrived. They saw the shell of a home. They called me. "Sir, your ex-fiancée is claiming you burglarized her property." "Officer," I said calmly, "I didn't burglarize anything. I simply removed my personal property upon vacating the premises as instructed by the homeowner. I have receipts for every single item I removed, including the screws." I met the officer at the station. I showed him the blue binder. Every receipt matched every missing item. The officer looked at the binder, looked at me, and tried not to laugh. He turned to Jessica, who was red-faced and crying. "Ma'am, this is a civil matter. He has proof of purchase for all these items. He didn't damage the structure, he just removed his property. There's nothing we can do." Rick didn't stick around. Turns out he wasn't interested in living in a house with no toilet, no stove, and no front door. He dumped her 2 days later. Jessica tried to sue me. The judge threw it out in 5 minutes after seeing the receipts and her text messages telling me to take what's mine. She had to sell the house. It sold for dirt cheap because, well, it needed a full renovation. I sold the materials and appliances online and made enough money to put a down payment on my own place, a place where only my name is on the deed. The last I heard, she's living in an apartment, still complaining about how I ruined her life. But I didn't ruin her life. I just took back the life I built for her. Good luck pooping in a bucket, sweetheart.